Welcome back. In a special chat, we caught up with Ravi Santhanam, Group Head and CMO, HDFC Bank. He spoke to us about the changes in marketing a bank, their campaign against financial fraud, how is tech shaping their business, and much more. Listen in. We have seen how, this sector and especially banks, different banks across this sector have gone through this major transformation journey over the past 2-3 years. Whether it is data modernization or, digital platform enhancement, that has happened over the past 2-3 years owing to the pandemic. Tell us, where does the marketing function sit in this entire equation, and how has the role of marketing a bank changed over the past 2-3 years?
Oh, it's an interesting question. The first thing is marketing is almost central to the whole transformation that we are talking about, because marketing is asked to take these offerings to the customers. And since marketing is the one which actually controls all the channels of communication that we have with the customers, it is almost at the centerpiece of this transformation. The engineering activities that are happening, consumers are not necessarily interested in that. They're all interested in what it does for them in terms of
how does it solve for their problems.
And so starting from the narrative and actually taking it to the consumer is the marketing's job. What has also changed in the same direction is marketing was not necessarily a revenue-led function. Today in the bank specifically, we are a revenue-led function, and I keep calling myself as a revenue-led marketer, revenue marketer, because today we have targets to sell credit cards, to directly sell loans and everything, and we do a very good job out of it because all the digital properties we communicate, we're able to reach to the customers across the multiple properties that we have. And since the digital journeys are available now, we are able to convert the customer directly into a sale.
Yeah, and that has also given you a seat at the table,
Exactly.
so to speak, over the past 2-3 years. Tell us some of the trends, okay? What are some of the things that customers are looking for, and how is a bank fulfilling that need gap?
See, the way we see it is, it's a supply-constrained economy. It's not a demand-constrained economy. Almost most of the people are now very comfortable with e-commerce, buying everything on the online side. When it comes to banking products and services, it was more a supply that was not available and not a demand. People are willing to go ahead and do everything online. So banking services on the transaction side, they were all doing it online. So 94% of our transactions are anyway digital today. But only the purchasing side, whether to open an account or to take a new loan or to apply for a card, that was not happening digitally. It was more about an application form they will fulfill, they will write in the digital formats, and then still the manual process will continue.
Sure.
What we have done is we have taken the current India stack, whether it is the Aadhaar, whether it is the GST availability, whether it is the account aggregator framework, and we have created on-the-fly credit decisioning journeys where any customer in the country today, anybody in the country today can come in, apply for their products, and if they are good in terms of credit and everything, and the past history is available, and they are willing to give us the data points, they're able to sanction a card and send it to them in a matter of 10 minutes.
Having said that, the number of scams and frauds also have increased over the past 2-3 years is what we have seen. Someone, let's say a senior citizen, is really scared to transact at all digitally because, probably someone in their family has warned them against scams and everything that is happening around, scams or frauds that are happening around. So tell us, one of the campaigns that, we saw from HDFC Bank was with Vigilante, which was launched like a couple of months ago. How did that, how did you come up with that idea, and what has it done for HDFC Bank?
See, what we have seen is when people have been talking about online frauds for almost 5 years. We have been talking about it in multiple formats, in multiple stories and all. We started with Muh Band Rakho. At that time, there was COVID that was happening. Everybody wanted to wear a mask, and everybody needed to wear a mask. So we said, close your mouth and also don't share your OTP and CVV during that point of time. We always wanted to see how we can innovate and actually get to the audience to look at it. And most of the stories and the narratives that are happening on the fraud space were all very, very boring and dull. And we said, why not we create our own intelligent, our own influencer who is actually going to be the spokesperson. And people are not interested in ads. People are interested in content. People are interested in watching what the content and what the story is all about. So can we create our own influencer who will talk about frauds maybe in a nice jovial manner And will that content reach out? And that's why we started Vigilante 2 years back, and this is the second year running. We got tremendous response from our customers as well as the Indian citizenry about what Vigilante is doing for them. Whatever frauds are happening, whatever newer frauds that could happen potentially, we are able to cover it in a very, very nice, jovial way, and people are partnering with us to actually spread the message around.
Sure, sure. And how did it work, for the brand? Also, recently you tried to scam, as a bank, you tried to scam the consumers. Tell us more about, coming up.
Okay, you put it in a very different way. We tried to scam the consumer to save the consumer. So that's what I will put it as. And of late, the biggest one which has been happening is the deepfake controversies. And when it was happening, we always thought it like, okay, this is a controversy happening on deepfake. And we also have heard stories of how deepfake is being used to fraud. One of the biggest stories that we heard is like they are actually recording in your son's voice or in your daughter's voice.
Yeah,
and then
or WhatsApp videos of, like friends calling you in need.
So these kind of things were happening, and not much in number, but it's slowly and steadily starting. And there is an optimism bias in people. There is something which we believe, like for example, a person like me will always believe like I am not going to be scammed, because at the end of the day, I am very, very cautious about it. I understand the digital world and all the stuff. But people are waiting always for that one emotional moment where you will fall prey. And very recently, we get a call. My son is studying in Delhi in medical school. My wife is getting a call saying that something has happened to my son and you immediately have to pay so much of money. And she just laughed it off. And that's the kind of thing, because at that point of time, your first interest is to do all these stuff in terms of saying, okay, don't do anything, I'll help you, whatever it is. So we said, why not take this opportunity and try and create something which will ensure people know about what deepfake frauds could be potentially. And that's how the idea started, and so we went ahead and executed.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, X and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.